Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. I'm joined once again by Clem Chambes from anewfn.com. How are you today, Clem?
Very good, thank you very much. Very, very good indeed. Markets, having beaten me up a couple of weeks ago, is now showering me with gold. So, I like that showering me with gold bit.
Well, I was going to say that normally I let you do the talking, but you're already actually letting yourself do the talking before I'm allowing you to do the talking. So it's all yours. But the situation now is that we're in the home stretch for 2025. I'm presuming that you've made millions this year, even more than you normally do, because gold was so obvious and Bitcoin short was so obvious, and even the FTSE up 18% or whatever it is just literally. I mean, anybody could have worked that out, couldn't they?
Well, I mean, you'd be amazed at the people that don't and are always on the bear track. And I don't do shorting, Zach, and it doesn't suit my personality. So, I can't just I can say Bitcoin's not going up anymore. It's probably going to go down a lot, but I would never be short. Never be short Bitcoin because I mean it's such a crazy asset that you don't know whether you're coming or going with that. You just know that over a certain extended period of time, it's going to be coming down a long way. And I got out a year ago and said 120 was the top, and I would expect on timing for it to come down at Easter, not Christmas. And direction I find easy, timing much more difficult. In fact, I'm normally way early on stuff.
Yeah, it's actually the case. Does tend to be the case that if you're on the short tack, you're not on the short tack. But if you're looking for things to go down, which are crap, then I'm talking about stocks, not Bitcoin, before we get a tirade of abuse. But just on stocks or companies, there's a dodgy CEO, or there's fraud, there's and that. The party tends to go on much longer than you think, and then you actually think, oh, actually, maybe that company's not that bad off. Maybe Enron is actually okay. Maybe it's actually quite a good. I mean, no, it's all decent. So things tend to take longer to go down, probably much longer in a way than the things that go up when they go up, if you see what I mean. So it is one of those rare things, and a bit like the United Kingdom economy, I think probably as well. It's taken. You would have thought that in 2008 that was game over for this country, but it actually turns out to be it's 2025, not 2008.
Well, come on, it's been going down since 1918. So,
Yes.
you don't have to, you just look at the direction of travel and it's that's the important thing. And I mean, people don't they say, "Oh, we haven't got growth here." And then they look at Asia and they go, "Oh, they're growing quite well. They're catching up on us." But they don't calculate that what happens when they catch up with us, they'll be traveling at high speed and we'll still be crawling along. So they're going to blow past us and leave us on our bellies crawling along, and they'll be over the hill and far away a few years later. And it's not just people catching up. It's people passing you, and it's not just the fact that you're failing. That's okay, but if you keep on failing and you keep just going down this slippery, slow, slippery slope, that I think the UK is particularly stands out on that, and Europe has a little bit of that going on. But actually, if you think about, well, like for example, Italy when I was a kid, I mean, it was a wreck. Italy was a wreck. And France was, not quite a wreck. I mean,
They,
France
they
was
were
a
they,
wreck
they
in
were
the early
like they were
80s.
like third world countries basically. Spain, Italy,
Well,
Spain, Spain obviously had a dictatorship. Italy wasn't much better, and you have all that you had all that going on. But the thing here is, it seems that this country, there's no reason for their decline. It could be Singapore on the Thames, or it could be whatever whatever's good around at the moment. But it does seem to be the case that it's a deliberate, not a managed decline. It's actually a deliberate decline, attacking the institutions, attacking business, all the things. And this has been from since the like for decades, right? So the people, whoever's really in charge on a long-term basis, has just decided this is going down. We didn't get beaten in the world in the two wars, so let's get beaten in the peace. And that's what's happened. And it just seems to be going on and on. And I think they've
you
got the
see,
bit
I
between
would,
the teeth now.
I would say it's actually, a lot of people won't like this, but it's actually something much simpler than that. UK is relatively work shy. Yeah. Now, back in the day when I was struggling in business as a young man, I couldn't do any business in December. Everybody went on Christmas on December the 5th. This is, 30 years ago. Well, how can you have an economy when everybody that's important goes on holiday at the beginning of December, doesn't come back to the middle of January? It's a whole
Sounds
month gone.
sensible. But that's actually the thing to do now because you're not getting paid properly. You should only work half the time basically because you're getting taxed at 50%. So actually, these people are spot on. The only thing is, I think to
Yeah, but
sort
that
of
was back then. That was under Thatcher
yeah,
when the
no, but
tax.
all the people with get up and leave the country. I mean, that's
Got
what we
up and
have.
gone.
Yeah, they've got up and
Sure, sure.
like you, traitors like you. You should be here
Ha ha
suffering.
ha.
You should be here suffering with us. Yeah, exactly.
Under my volcano in the Caribbean. What are you talking about?
I think, yeah, but yeah, I mean,
So
I think,
anyway, but
yeah, well, yeah. So all the hardworking English people went to Australia, America, and they're obviously doing all their stuff all over the place. And
well, there's
most,
certainly a lot of that. Everybody
most,
worries about immigration. I'd be worrying about immigration, but never mind. But actually, what I was going on to say is now they leave at the end of November and they come back in early February. I
yeah.
mean, how many work weeks are there out there when you start knocking out? And I'm not talking about the normal people in the street that have to, clock in and clock out, but I'm talking about the bosses, which after all are meant to be driving the bus. And how many bosses are working during a half term or really working during
Yeah, but
the school
there's no
holiday?
point. The tax system means that there's no point working. So you've got the two things you have the 100 grand tax trap. Anything over that, so you get from 100 to 150 or 120, you're taxed at 65%. You lose your this allowance, that allowance. So you got people who not might pay themselves 150 and work 5 days a week or 6 days a week. Now they're paying themselves 100 and working half the week because that's the way of getting back, to making your work more efficient. So it's just basic
Well,
tax. It's basically tax.
me.
It's basic. No, no, it's basically tax. So it's literally if you're getting your 100K a year, you should be getting 150 or 200 because obviously they've frozen that thing for the last 15 years since 2010. Then you just say, well, actually, I'm not going to work on Friday. I'm not going to work on Monday. I'll meet Clem on Tuesday. Might go out on Wednesday and wind down for the weekend on Thursday. That's it, and
I,
that makes your pay more efficient, right?
I've got to say, I still consider that to be lazy.
No, no, it's
You know,
late. No, it is. It's yeah, but why should I give money to Rachel Reeves? I might as well
well, I
just
mean, okay, we should call this series "The Game of Moans."
well,
I
yeah,
mean, it's
see what you
just,
did there.
yeah, why not? Me, I just think if you want, yes, look, very
So
simple.
you no, sorry, you buggered off and
Rule 101.
you buggered off and you're complaining about everybody here not working.
Yeah, I'm trying to make the money and I can only get hold of them 3 days a week. Anyway, it doesn't, and I can't get anywhere or I
Maybe it's
can't get
something
a hotel
personal.
room on
Maybe it's something.
Wednesday because that's the only time they do any work is Wednesday and they come into town for Wednesday, book out all the rooms and I can't get a room then, but rest of the week it's all empty. But that's not my issue, right? But what I would say is this. It's the golden rule of politics that you tax what you don't want and you subsidize what you do want. And of course, they subsidize unemployment and they punish success. Well, you're going to get more of it. You're going to get more failure because you subsidize it, and you're going to get less success because you tax it and you punish it.
Yeah,
And
but I really
that's
want
just
to. Yeah, but
obvious. And that's what you're saying effectively.
that's because every money that's made in the private sector and every success that there is evidence that socialism doesn't work. So basically, they have to stamp out any evidence of socialism not working, which are obviously successful PLCs, successful internet, successful UK companies, and successful people. Because according to socialism, we're all the same. We all have the same IQ, the same ability, the same strengths, and the same weaknesses. We're all zombies, and therefore anyone who outperforms, like Ed Sheeran or you, they are an example of socialism not working.
I do not live in your country. I'm comfortable under my volcano. It's good. It's good. It's got, I can fire my missiles out through the top of it.
So on your from your subterranean layer, what are you seeing for the end of the year and the beginning of next year? What are your
Well,
tips? What are your tips for the top?
okay. I don't do financial advice. I mean, I've got my YouTube channel going ballistic at the moment, and I keep saying it's raw material for your own thinking. Okay. Now, Intel just broke out. And I was talking about that at 20, it's now 40, it's going to go to 60 in my book, maybe go a lot further. And as far as the overall market's concerned, that I always tell this story because it's really, really important. When I was a little kid and my father made an enormous amount of money in the commodity markets in the early 70s, I said, and all the other kids at the school that I went to, it was a public school, they were all skin in comparison with him, like really skin, you know. And I said, Dad, how do you do this? And he said, well, in the market, son, all you need to know is which way the market's going. Is it going up or is it going down? That's all you need to know. And you get in at the bottom and then you get out at near the top. And that's it. That's all you got to know. And I thought it can't be that simple. Even as an 11-year-old, I thought that's too simple. But it isn't. If you don't know which way the market's going, why are you in the market? Yeah. Now the UK market is going up, and it's going up a long way because it's getting strip mined by America. It's getting invested in as a hedge against the dollar. Yeah, and therefore there's going to be this upward draft. Lots of companies getting taken over. I mean, Smith's Industries today just sold their detection department. It's like, what are you doing? It's like one of the best. It's a world-beating technology for airports for looking, sniffing your bag and seeing whether you've got any lotion in there, and they're selling it. I mean, that's a business that that company could succeed in for the next 50 years, and they just sold it. It's an
Good
international global
people.
winner, and they just sold it. It's like, oh dear, oh, I've got a winner. Oh, let me sell it to private equity. Oh, please take it away. And so that asset stripping is going to be driving prices in the UK market, and the dollar hedge because the dollar's coming down another 10% in the next year. Lots of people will be trying to hedge their position emissions. So that will be driving the prices. And this strip mining the UK market is so cheap. It's totally painful. I mean, Johnson and Matthey, right? Oh dear, oh dear. I bought some of that recently. It's like I got a whole load of stuff. It's just cheap. It's a joke. Okay. And I would refer back to you to say the UK, it's a bit of a joke, right? It's a tragic comedy. Tragic comedy. Yeah. And I wish it would get sorted out for
No, no,
it's
no,
my
no.
motherland.
I
But
think the only thing I disagree with you is that it's not a tragicomedy by neglect. This is done deliberately. All these things are done deliberately. The stamp duty
they're not smart
on
enough to do
house.
it
No, no,
deliberately.
no, no.
They're not smart
No.
enough.
It is because there are people. There's Tony Blair. There are other people who've got a bit of a brain. They're making sure all this happens. So it's
He's
all
been
good.
gone a decade.
The ID
Bring him
card will
back.
the ID cards will come in. We'll all have them, and we'll be paying for that and
It'll
the
be so
passport.
easy to get that in. It'll be so easy. They're so clueless, they can't even get that in. I mean, all you've got to do is say, don't worry about it. It's not compulsory. Have one of these. It'll make you, when you open a bank account, much simpler. And it will make it easier when you've got to do this and make it easier when you got to. But you don't have to have it. You don't have to have it. It's fine. Don't have it. And then, it would all osmote in. They're so clueless, they can't even figure that one out. And it's just, come on, you're not telling me that there's these, masterminds there. They're not masterminds. They're just
No,
not
it's only you only
masterminds.
need one or two. You only need one or two masterminds.
There's none. There's none. It's a bunch of rolling Muppets. You know it is. You just have to watch them on your media. They just, they
I like to
haven't got
think
a
that
Scooby-Doo.
there's a brain behind the operation.
You would like to think, but that's
Well,
where you're making a mistake. There's no brain. I mean, it's like a dinosaur. There's a brain in the tail and a brain in the head, and it
Morgan
takes 2 minutes for
McSweeney.
each of them.
It was Morgan McSweeney. He's doing it.
Okay, who's the mastermind?
Yes, he
No,
is. Yes.
no,
Before that, it was
no.
Dominic
They're
Cummings.
all trying to skive off of work and get a fat pension and take as little risk as possible and hide under their desks. And that's how it works. And everybody's doing it now. Everybody's doing it now. They're all away from their desk. Your phone call is important to me. They're all doing that. They're all doing that. And that's why there's no growth. Yeah, because they're not, no one's putting their back into it.
But
And
why
if you
should
do
you?
try to put
You
your back
lose it.
into it,
Right, no, sorry, no, hold on. So you've just had the mansion tax, 2 million, right? Mansion tax, okay. So you've got a mansion tax on something which once you, after years of paying your mansion tax, which obviously, they'll keep making it 2 million, it'll be 2 million for the next 20 years. And so 2 million will be like 200 grand. You pay your mansion tax for years, and then when you die, then the government gets 40%. So what's the point of buying a house? What's the point of buying a property?
it's existential, Zach. It's all about a journey. And when you were young, you go on a journey, you don't
Journey
even
to
think about
death.
that. You don't even know what tax is. And off you go, and you try to do your thing, and you start your computer game company or your AI company, and you struggle and you struggle and you fail and you win and you lose and you do all that. You go on the journey of life. And it's how easy or difficult it is to progress. And it's pretty blooming difficult these days in the UK because of the paperwork. The paperwork is just vast. And,
Yeah, but that's
it
lawyers.
is.
That's lawyers' fault. That's their fault. And we've taken that on board. We took all their red tape.
Well, I mean, bureaucracies grow. And it's just bureaucracy. That's all it is doing it. It's all those bureaucrats, saying tick this box, tick that
Human
box. There's
HR,
another box, tick it.
HR, human resources, that's another complete waste of time and money. Well, who are these people? HR is rubbish.
HR, that's corporate police force. Come on, HR is the police force of companies and organizations. That's what HR is. It's just the police force.
Compliance.
Oh, police force. Yeah, here we go.
So what's I mean, what's the point of that? And you're paying for that. Why doesn't the government pay for that? Why doesn't somebody else pay for that? Why does that's all the cost of doing
Well,
business, right?
obviously you can rejig it, and my experience with regulation has not been a happy one. But
That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be happy. It's supposed to be unhappy. So that worked.
no, it's supposed to be regulating, not suffocating.
No, yes, it is. That's what it means. It means suffocating, making your life a misery. That's what it's supposed to be. So that's actually something that works as it should.
Yeah, yeah. Well, any postmodern Marxist will tell you about power and the oppressors and the oppressed.
So, so on the, are there any other happy notes you'd like to
Well,
provide the
let's
listeners?
talk about investments because that
Okay.
is an opportunity. If
Okay.
you want to, one of the few ways that a normal person can build up wealth is in the markets, and in a sense, it's the more faster you want to make the money, the harder it becomes. Yeah, but in the market is going up in the UK, and most people should just stuff as much money as they can in tax shelters.
I
Yeah,
see. Yeah, the ISA.
and
Yeah.
play the value game.
Yeah. So, no, but just
What's
buy
that?
any, buy, yeah, but just buy anything. It's crap, but buy it in an ISA. Doesn't matter. I mean, if you
Why would
lose
you buy
money,
crap? There's so much quality out there.
why not? But if all else
Uh,
fails, you could buy crap. It still at least doesn't go to the tax man. I mean, this is great stuff, isn't it?
well, no, I mean, look, let's be positive. Look, there's so much. If you go out there in the media and you believe what you read, give up now. Yeah. Get yourself a canoe and start paddling towards America. I mean, just give up. And you're saying that, just give up, right? Well, I say don't give up, you know, focus. And there's certain ways to make decent wealth over the long term, and that is in the markets, and that's by sensible investing, buying companies. I mean, I've mentioned Johnson Matthey for an example, but I mean, there's plenty of really strong dull companies out there. You don't have to. I mean, something I love at the moment is Fair Expo because if you want to back peace breaking out in Ukraine, that share will go ballistic. If it doesn't, well,
Didn't
it's
get, did
probably
well.
going to
I
be
think no.
where it is today.
I actually this is the first time we've actually great minds have thought alike. Talked about that at the beginning of the week, but the obviously the shares are down today because Putin said he's going to invade Europe, which obviously is going to be really exciting. And
Well, I mean, you should have some Babcock then, right? I mean, I've got a load of military stuff, loads and loads of military stuff. So, you build up your thesis. You don't go jump in head first. You build up your ideas. You think about it. I call it crocodile investing, and I've probably stolen that for someone else's idea. But you just lie on the mud and you just watch what floats by in the river, and you have your ideas and you do your sketches. You have your speculations, and then when one of your ideas starts to come to pass, you start to build your position. And it's like, if you want to get wealthy, earmark 20 years, yeah, open a SIP, open a ISA, start dripping money into it, start building up, a portfolio of UK companies, and you'll get a great return. By being sensible, not the Mad Harry stuff that you love, Zach, but stuff in the 350
so yeah,
and
yeah,
just
but
build it
if
up.
I no, that's fine. But I say I buy my Johnson Matthey or I buy my Forexpo, whatever it is, I put it in an ISA. It goes to £1 million. Is that then part of my inheritance tax? Is that part of the is that
No
tax?
one cares about inheritance tax. Nobody cares about that. When they reintroduced inheritance tax in America, nobody was committing suicide. Old men were committing suicide to make sure their children got the money without inheritance tax. Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like, I'm a billionaire. tomorrow, 3 days' time, if I die in 3 days' time, I'm going to pay X% inheritance tax for my kids. So, I'm going to die in a year. I'll shoot myself. No, no, but not one rich person shot himself. Not one. Yeah. So but people don't really care about that. I mean, yeah, it gives them something to worry about, I suppose, moan about. But look, just make a load of money, and if you make enough, you can come and live in Jersey or whatever, or come, get a volcano next to mine. Just make the money. Just make the money and spend it. When you get too old to, well, by the time you've made it, you're too old to enjoy it. But anyway, hey, who cares?
Well,
But be on the front foot. Don't be on the back foot. If you're on the back foot, the only thing you'll be doing is wallowing in misery. Oh, worrying in misery, Zach. Stop it. Yeah. You should be on the front foot and taking advantage of opportunities as they come by. Because, at the end of the day, if everything collapses, the assets will be cheap. You'll be able to buy a Van Gogh for nothing. At the end of the Second World War, you could buy Van Goghs for peanuts. Yeah. And within, I think, 20 years, they'd gone up 200 times. Yeah. So, if you've got the money, when the roof comes in, like you seem to think it is, you'll be in your alley Marvel. You'll be able to pick up all these overtaxed mansions for nothing. Never
finally,
happens, does it?
finally, Clem, maybe you could just give us a summary and a rundown of how the wonderful world of a new fn.com is doing at the moment.
Oh, just fantastic. I mean, we are giving away level two. Okay, we are giving away free or real time, and I didn't realize how important that was until I didn't have real time and level two elsewhere anymore. And at 8 o'clock, when I don't know, Fair Expo falls off its twig, you're sitting there for 15 minutes wait to find out how much money you've lost. And watching, you can't watch the level two to see whether it's going to bounce or whether it's going to be a comeback during the day. But we're giving away that stuff. So you can see level two. We got the old order book style, and we also got a vertical ladder style for that. It's absolutely tremendous. And we've got some news now, which you should look at our news. You'd like it because it takes the bit. I mean, sorry, it has a slightly satirical and view on things, and it's hilarious. And some poor so one of our writers wrote something about a very big insurance company and said it was a bit of a cockroach because it was flapping about but was tough.
Well,
But it's just
well, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to see how good it is. If it's not, if it needs an extra writer, then I'll obviously be keen to take part. But
brilliant. Well, it's all
that,
free. It's all
yeah,
free, 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 and we're never going to charge.
yeah.
And it's very early doors at the moment, and we're still building out our infrastructure, which is under a lot of stress because of a lot of people showing up, and that's really great. But it's at 8 o'clock in the morning. If one of your shares is going through the roof or is going through the floor, you want to watch it on level two. Come to a new FN, and you can watch it for free.
On that happy note, Clem Chambers from a new fn.com. Thank you
Oh,
very
I'm
much
not finished with
indeed.
it yet, Zach. I'm not
Why
finished.
not?
I'm not finished with it yet. I'm not finished. No, no, wait, wait, wait. I've got a Substack which I just started, and everyone seems to like, and so there's my YouTube, which is almost as good as yours, which is Clem Chambers Alpha, which is going, and my Substack's going, and a new FN's going, and and my portfolio's going, so something bad will happen.
Oh, on that wonderfully note, thank you, Clem, and see you next time.
See you again soon. Cheers,
Cheers.
Zach.